So I think a screen is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us start this second part of second unit. That is ultrasonic waves. So you might have heard there are the variety of applications of ultrasonic waves, and we are very much familiar about the ultrasonography of our different part of body where directly we cannot approach, where directly we cannot see. Then obviously the image of those sections, those parts, those organs can be viewed using the ultrasonography or ultrasonic waves. So in this front PPT, mm, uh, you are seeing that there are two pictures. Number one, in which the dolphin and bat is moving in a particular direction. For example, if bat is moving in a particular direction and some creature is there, some birds are there, or some obstacles are there, then the ultrasonic waves which are produced by the bat is getting reflected from that obstacle or that uh, bird or that anything what is lying in the path of bat. And that bat sense that what is in his path of flying. Similarly, you are seeing there is a dolphin. It is this dolphin is also able to produce the ultrasonic waves, and when it is moving in forward direction and it is striking with certain uh, small fishes or any obstacle, then it is rebounding from that, and the whale or any fish, big fish can assess that what is lying there. And similarly, at the right hand side, you might have seen the picture of kidney in which the stones are detected using the ultrasonography. So these are the important application. So before discussing the application, it will be better if we will discuss that what are the ultrasonic waves, how they can be produced, and what are the specific characteristics and features of the ultrasonic waves. And you will see the variety of application and non-destructive testing, which is the third part of this second unit. In that section, we will again use the ultrasonic waves for the detection of the defect and other things in a particular building or the monument. So let us see what are the basics related to the ultrasonic waves. So sound wave basically can be divided into three major sections. Number one is known as the subsonic or the infrasonic waves. Other is the sonic or the audible wave. And third is the ultrasonic waves. Subsonic waves, which have their frequency less than 20 hertz, and the audible range for the human being especially, because this range is different for the different creatures. So that is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. And ultrasonic waves, which have its frequency more than 20 kilohertz. So these are the broad classification of the sound wave, and accordingly they has been used in studies for the different purposes. As far as subsonic waves are considered, they have very less frequency. Obviously, their wavelength will be very high, and uh, these waves are produced with the movement of the heavy bodies like the planet, Earth, and other heavy bodies. But the sonic waves, which are produced by the different instruments, or music instrument, or any uh, other creatures like the birds, like the human being, like other uh, animals. So that's sonic waves which are in the range of 20 kilohertz, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. But beyond to that limit, we may have the ultrasonic waves, and they can be produced by the specific instruments or some animals and some birds. What already I have shown on the first PPT, that they are able to produce the ultrasonic waves. So now let's see that how they can be produced actually. For the production of the ultrasonic waves, there are the different methods to produce them. and most of them are the mechanical method, piezoelectric effect. Piezoelectric effect has been used in the piezoelectric generator and magnetostriction generator. So first is the method in which mechanically we are able to produce the uh, ultrasonic waves. So different sirens are there, and there are the different beats can be produced using the different instrument mechanically. And then after we will have the piezoelectric generator, means that we will have a device in which the piezoelectric effect will be used to produce the ultrasonic waves. And there is the magnetostriction generator, in which the magnetostriction effect will be used to produce the ultrasonic waves. So how that can be produced, let us see in detail one by one. So first we will see the mechanical method. Mechanically, the ultrasonic waves are produced by the Galton vessel, siren, bridge resonator, vortex generators, hydrodynamics oscillators, vibrating blade, transducer, etc. So these are the instruments by which mechanically we can use just the Galton vessel. And this is a very special type of vessel when you will have your action on that vessel, then obviously the waves of ultrasonic range will be produced. Some sirens are also there. When we will on that, then the ultrasonic waves can be produced. With the siren, one thing I remember, and I was also provoking to our student that in this campus, when you will come and you will stay for rest of the time of your engineering, then you will see that a large number of the monkeys are here. So I was thinking that the monkeys are very much sensitive to the waves and such type of occurrence which is unusual to them. So if we will be able to produce the ultrasonic waves having its range 19 kilohertz to 22 kilohertz, and that will be placed at the different buildings at different trees, and then the monkeys can be prevented in that particular area. So this is the task to our student. If they wish, then they can design this particular task. So this will be very useful uh, mm, to have our safe region from the monkeys in this campus. And not in campus, at so many places, such problems are there. Usually what happen in case of railways, if the signals are there and monkeys are there, then they broke the signals, and we will have the ultrasonic waves there of the varying frequency of this range, then monkeys will not come to that point because they are very much sensitive to these waves and frequencies, and they will say when they will hear this one, then they will feel that something unusual at that place, we should not go there. So this is one method, that is the mechanical method, and that may be used for this particular prevention. Next is the piezoelectric generator. Use of piezoelectric generator for the production of ultrasonic waves is the most modern method. With the help of these generators, we can produce the ultrasonic waves of very high and constant frequencies. So I think that I'm audible to you people, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what is the basic principle to produce this high frequency wave having its constant range? That is the uh, piezoelectric effect. This generator is based on the principle of the piezoelectric effect. So what is the construction of the device or the circuit, what we are using there? Uh, mm, so that is an arrangement of a piezoelectric generator for the production of ultrasonic wave consists of a slice of a quartz crystal cube placed in the between two highly polished metal plates serving as electrodes connected to the anode A and grid G of a triode valve. So, friends, what you might have seen the different devices, although you people are living in the age of solid state devices, but there are certain specific use of the valves also. If you will open the old book of the semiconductor physics and materials, then you will see there diode valve, triode valve, tetrode valve, pentode valve. So these are different valves which were used in the very beginning to design the electronic devices. But very soon that has been replaced by the solid state devices because it was not easy to place these triode valve and they were taking much time also. But in some specific cases, this triode valve, tetrode valve, and pentode valve are the boon for that particular specific task. So here triode valve has been used, and a slice of a quartz crystal, एक क्वार्ट्ज क्रिस्टल की स्लाइस ली गई और उस स्लाइस को हाईली पॉलिश्ड मेटल इलेक्ट्रोड्स के बीच में रख दिया गया और फिर क्या किया गया, इनको ट्रायोड वाल्व के एनोड और ग्रिड के बीच में जोड़ दिया गया. Why we are doing this one? Just in the next point, I will explain that what is the working of that. But here, just we should have the idea about the construction. So anode is also connected to the LC circuit and high tension battery. Shunted through a bypass capacitor C1. This bypass capacitor is used to stop the high frequency current from passing through the battery. So this provision has been made. When you will see the circuit, then that will be very much clear here. कि पहली बात तो ये हमने स्लाइस लिया किसकी, क्वार्ट्ज की. क्यों लिया क्वार्ट्ज की? क्योंकि क्वार्ट्ज के क्रिस्टल पर जब हम इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर वगैरह लगाएंगे तो इसमें हम प्रेशर से इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का एक्सपीरियंस कर सकते हैं या इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड लगा करके उस पर प्रेशर एक्सपीरियंस कर सकते हैं. तो अगर किसी चीज पर प्रेशर एक्सपीरियंस एग्जर्ट करेंगे तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है कि वो अगर अंदर की तरफ जाएगा उसका कंप्रेशन होगा, बाहर की तरफ जाएगा एक्सपेंशन होगा, तो उसमें एक्चुअली वाइब्रेशन शुरू हो जाएगा. And that vibration will be in the range of the frequency of ultrasonic waves. So here, in order to maintain that oscillation, the LC circuit has been used. And in order to prevent the disturbance of the high frequency with the high tension battery, a bypass capacitor has been used. This is all about this circuit diagram, which might have seen by you people on the slide. There is a triode valve. In triode valve, there is the filament, which will produce the electrons which are going from this cathode to the anode, and there is the grid in between that. Grid is used to control the flow of electron from the filament to the anode, and then after it is connected to the tank circuit, that is the LC circuit. What for LC circuit is used? You might have read in your lower classes. Why we are using the LC circuit? What is the main use of LC circuit? Bolo bhai? Anybody of you people? LC circuit oscillation produce करेगा, इसकी क्या functioning होती है, इसका क्या principle है, कैसे काम करता है? अरे तो बहुत साधारण सी बात है जी, तुम लोग इंजीनियरिंग करने जा रहे हो, ये सब तो थोड़ी आइडिया होनी चाहिए तुम लोगों को. Anyway, I'm telling you people, for example, you have the capacitor having two plates. If one is charged positively, then obviously the other side will be with the negative charge. So with this negative and positive charge, when this capacitor will be fully charged, then it will discharge through the inductor. And when the flux changes to this coil will change, then there will be the induced EMF, and that induced EMF will have its direction opposite to the change in the flux. Means that it will try to oppose the change of the flux in the coil. So obviously what the EMF will be produced in opposite direction, that will recharge the capacitor in opposite direction. And when the capacitor will be charged again, then it will try to discharge through the coil. But again, the coil will do the same thing. and this capacitor will be charged oppositely, and this process will be continue and oscillations will be built up in this tank circuit, and its control will be given from the anode, which has been here with the this triode valve. At the same time, since the this quartz crystal is connected with this tank circuit, that's why according to this oscillation, there will be the electrostatic pressure on this one, and due to this pressure, what will happen actually, the compression and elongation in this quartz slice will be there, and obviously this mm dash, which is known as the slice of the quartz crystal, will be thrown in a particular vibration, and hence the ultrasonic waves will be produced here. This is all the functioning of this one, this particular circuit. The circuit diagram is the piezoelectric, what you know we have discussed here. And anybody, if you want to anything regarding to this one, please let me have their question so that I can answer regarding to the functioning and working of this circuit. Anybody, if want to ask anything about the working of this circuit, then they can ask. Anyway, if you don't have any question, perhaps you are understanding well, then need not to waste our time. The natural frequency of the quartz crystal of a thickness T for its fundamental mode of vibration is given as nu is equal to 1 upon 2T under root E upon rho, where E is the Young's modulus and rho is the density of the materials. Next method is the, I think I'm audible now. You people are not asking any question and not saying anything. That's why sometimes I'm confused that you are listening to me or not.
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay. Next method is the magnetostatic restriction generator. In this, what happened actually, that is very interesting and very good method to produce the ultrasonic wave. The principle of this generator is based on the magnetostriction effect. In this arrangement, AB is a rod of ferromagnetic material. When you will see the picture or the circuit diagram, then there is a rod AB, and this rod is of the ferromagnetic material, clamped at the middle. बीच में इसे क्लैंप किया गया है, लेकिन इसके जो क्लैंप है वो क्लैंप बहुत ज्यादा टाइट नहीं है. इसके मूवमेंट के लिए उसको सपोर्ट करता है, इसके मूवमेंट के लिए इसमें फ्रीडम होनी चाहिए. There are two coils L1 and L2 on AB. L1 और L2 दो कॉइल हैं जो AB रॉड पर बिल्ट हैं. कैसे हैं अभी हम आपको दिखाएंगे फिगर में. The diameter of the turns of the coil is greater than that of the rod, so that the rod can move freely lengthwise. Actually क्या है कि रॉड को उस कॉइल के बीच में आगे पीछे वाइब्रेट करने की फ्रीडम है. इसका मतलब उसके ऊपर जब वाइंडिंग की गई है, उससे जो उसके ऊपर जब वाइंडिंग की गई है, वो वाइंडिंग टाइटली उससे कनेक्टेड नहीं है, रादर उसका जो रेडियस है कॉइल का वो ज्यादा है इन कंपैरिजन टू द डायमीटर ऑफ द this rod ferromagnetic material. Coil L1 is forming a tuned circuit with a variable condenser C, which is also connected to the plate of the triode valve through the millimeter. So this is one part of this one, that the L1 is forming a tuned circuit, and in this tuned circuit there is the variable condenser, and this is also connected to the plate of the triode valve along with the millimeter to mark that what the current is flowing in that. Coil L2 is connected between the grid and cathode. The frequency of oscillatory circuit is determined by the values of L1 and C. Values of L1 and C means L1 is the fixed, but C is the varying capacitor or varying condenser, whatever you are saying, that according to that their frequency will be changed. if the frequency of the tuned circuit becomes equal to the natural frequency of the rod. Now two things are there. One, there is the oscillation in the tank circuit and there is the oscillation in the rod. And if both will be equal, then there will be the condition of resonance. Then the longitudinal oscillations are set up and ultrasonic waves are produced in the surrounding medium as it is shown in the following figure. आइए देखा जाए, ये है हमारी फिगर. इस फिगर में आपको क्या दिख रहा है कि there is the AB rod and this rod is of ferromagnetic material and in the middle of that our rod is clamped there. Clamp means this is not this is just a support to that rod, and there is the winding on this one. There are the two binding and a two coil will be there. One is between the grid and the filament, that is the cathode. You might have seen that from the filament one portion is going to the one part of this L2 and other is connected to the cathode. One circuit is here and other circuit is forming through the plate to the millimeter, and that is connected to a tank circuit having its varying capacitor, condenser C and L1 as a coil there. So what happened actually, when the current start to flow in the tank circuit L1, then L1R, you can say that the C is charged there. Then due to the charging of that, after the full charge, it discharges through the L1 and hence the oscillations are built up in L1 circuit. And due to that, what is happening actually, since current is flowing in this rod, then magnetic field has been produced here around this coil. And due to that, this rod feels the magnetostriction. And there is the compression and there is the certain force on this rod in the either side. Then AB lengthwise will start to vibrate. And whenever it will vibrate, then again there will be the change in the flux related to the L2 and L1. And the change in flux will be compensated by the varying value of the capacitor C. And hence, when the oscillations build up in the tank circuit or the tuned circuit forming by the L1 and C is equal to the frequency of the vibration of the rod AB, then there will be the resonance. And at the resonance, there will be the frequency around this rod that will be equal to the value of the frequency or the oscillation of the tank circuit, that is the LC. So at the condition of the resonance, the frequency of the wave produced by the tank circuit of the capacitor C and the inductance L is given as nu is equal to 1/2 pi under root 1 upon LC. And this frequency around this rod will be produced, and that is known as the ultrasonic beam. As far working is concerned, once again that has been elaborated here, कि any change in the plate current में जब कोई change आ रहा है, तो passing through L1 causes the corresponding change in the magnetization of the rod. क्या हो रहा है भाई? L1 में अगर करंट फ्लो हो रही तो obvious सी बात है कॉइल है. अगर वो कॉइल में करंट फ्लो हो रही है, उसके बीच में आपका मैग्नेटिक फेरोमैग्नेटिक मटेरियल रखा है, जिसके मैग्नेटाइजेशन में चेंज होगा. एंड द कॉइल L1 and therefore the length of the rod will change. Actually इसी को हम मैग्नेटोस्ट्रिक्शन मेथड कह रहे हैं. ड्यू टू द चेंज इन द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, there will be the change in the dimension of the rod, that is the ferromagnetic materials rod. Variation in the length cause a change in the magnetic flux through the grid coil L2. आपने जो दूसरी coil देखा था, जो L2 और grid के बीच में कनेक्ट होते हुए कैथोड से जुड़ा हुआ था, उसके बीच में है. तो therefore a converse magnetostriction effect and induced EMF is set up in the L2. भाई जब रॉड में चेंज होगा उसके मैग्नेटिक फील्ड में, तो रॉड में चेंज होने का मतलब कि L2 से जो रॉड पास हो रही है उसके फ्लक्स में भी परिवर्तन हो जाएगा, और उससे क्या होगा, एक इंड्यूस्ड ईएमएफ प्रोड्यूस्ड हो जाएगा. This induced EMF modifies the grid potential of the valve and produces an amplified current change in the plate circuit and in the coil L1. In this way, the oscillation of the rod is maintained. जैसे मान लीजिए इसका जो L1 को चार्ज करने में, L1 में जो करंट फ्लो करने में जो मैग्नेटाइजेशन प्रोड्यूस रॉड में हो रहा है, उसकी वजह से जो भी लॉस उसमें फ्लो होने वाली करंट में होगा, that will be controlled by the change in the EMF due to the L2 through the grid and anode current, and that will be maintained at the L1 level. So this is the working almost related to this magnetostriction generator. So anybody, if you have any problem, any question regarding to the functioning circuit diagram of this one, please let me know. Otherwise, I should proceed onward. So anyway, if you will revise, then it's very easy. It is not so tough that you cannot understand. Simple circuits are there, simple anode, cathode, and tank circuit is there. And the condition of resonance is there. According to that, you will have the frequency around to the rod, and that will be in the range of ultrasonic waves. Now, how we can detect the ultrasonic wave? Why I am discussing these things, that if you are going to use the ultrasonic waves for the commercial purposes, for the industrial purposes, then definitely first you should know that how they can be produced, what are the specific characteristics are there, how they can be detected, and then after, what are the specific application that I will discuss later on, or how we can find the frequency and wavelength of ultrasonic waves. So as far detection of the ultrasonic waves are concerned, piezoelectric generator, this detector works on the principle of piezoelectric effect. So means that the piezoelectric detector will be used, that how the compression and elongation is produced in the slice or in the rod, and according to that, if that is able to produce the electric field in the piezoelectric material, then we will say that there is the presence of ultrasonic waves. Kunz tube is used to detect the ultrasonic waves of relatively large wavelength. Kun has designed a particular tube, and in that tube, certain materials has been placed, and when the ultrasonic waves has been produced with that, then this heap of the dust becomes accommodated at one place, then after at some place, the distance between these heaps we used to consider as the wavelength of that ultrasonic waves, and according to that, we detect the presence of ultrasonic waves. Sensitive flame method. When the narrow sensitive flame is moved in a medium where the ultrasonic waves are present, it is observed that the flame remains steady at the position of antinodes and flicker at the position of the nodal points. तो नोड और एंटी नोड में उस फ्लेम की सिचुएशन को देख करके हम ये जान लेते हैं कि what is the wavelength of that, and accordingly what is the frequency of the same. Thermal detector method. In this method, platinum wire is moved through a medium of ultrasonic wave to observe the compression and rarefaction occur at the nodal points due to the adiabatic change in the temperature. And on the basis of that change, we can detect that what is the frequency and wavelength of that. Or if that is in the range of ultrasonic waves, then we can say that the ultrasonic waves are present here. This is a very good method to find that what is the frequency and wavelength of the ultrasonic wave. So for that very good idea and very simple method has been used. Sometimes we used to do this arrangement in our laboratory also, because it's very easy to maintain this um, particular device or particular arrangement in the laboratory with the minimum expenditure. So what is purpose of this one? The wavelength and the velocity of ultrasonic waves can be determined with the help of diffraction pattern produced through the acoustical grating. So what is happening basically here? What we are doing, perhaps experimental setup so here has been given. But before going there, I am telling what the essential part of the experimental arrangement is here and how this experiment is working. So here you are seeing that there is a pot, and in that pot the liquid has been placed, and at the lower end, at the bottom of this pot, there is the RF oscillator, that is the crystal, and this is producing the frequency in the range of the ultrasonic waves. Then what we are getting, as soon as this ultrasonic waves is passing through this column, liquid column, then due to its frequency and wavelength, there is the lower density and the higher density of the liquid in the liquid column, or you can say at some places there are the rare fraction, and some places there are the denser medium, and this will be formed just as a grating, what you might have seen in the laboratory of the physics, engineering physics first, that the grating is there. There are the 15,000 lines in per inch. That is the optical grating. Here, what we are seeing that the liquid column has been uh, placed in the path of ultrasonic waves. When the ultrasonic waves are passing through that liquid column, then due to its effect, at some places the liquid column becomes denser, and at some places it becomes rare, and the repetition is exactly same and identical. That's why the liquid grating has been formed. Now this is the property of a wave. When it is passing through a grating of the dimension of the order of the wavelength, then there will be the diffraction. So what has been placed here? The monochromatic wave source has been placed at here the extreme left side, and there is the lens L1, which is used to focus the light, and then after it will be passed through the slit, and again there will be the lens uh, at which focus the slit has been placed, so that the light become parallel after passing through this lens. And when it is passed through this liquid grating, which has been cast by the ultrasonic waves, then the diffraction will be there. And when this diffraction pattern will be recorded at this screen, then we will use the condition that A plus B sine theta is equal to L lambda. And according to that, we will be able to estimate that what is the value of A plus B. A plus B? Because in this liquid column, A plus B will give the idea that what is the frequency and wavelength of the ultrasonic wave, because these liquid column grating has been produced because of the ultrasonic wave. Then obviously that have this dimension according to the wavelength of ultrasonic waves. And the lambda, that is the monochromatic wave, has been known to us because we have used that source of light by our own choice. So according to that, we can calculate this one. But before that, let us have the experimental setup once again. A quartz crystal is placed in a glass cell containing the liquid, and it is connected to the RF oscillator. The oscillator is tuned to resonance frequency. Due to the longitudinal compression and expansion of the crystal, ultrasonic waves are generated. If it travels through the liquid and form the region of the high and low densities alternatively in the liquid column, this medium behave as acoustic grating. setup is as shown in the figure, what already I have discussed to you people. If lambda is the wavelength of monochromatic light and A plus B is the grating element, then for the nth order diffraction, we can write A plus B sin theta is equal to n lambda. और A plus B क्या है? A plus B तो ग्रेटिंग एलिमेंट है जो वेवलेंथ के बराबर है किसके? अल्ट्रासोनिक वेव की. क्यों? क्योंकि अल्ट्रासोनिक वेव की ही वजह से वो रेयरफ्रैक्शन और डेंसर मीडियम वहां पर फॉर्म हुआ है. तो lambda c is equal to n lambda upon sin theta. Obviously, this v velocity of the same is equal to frequency of the ultrasonic wave multiplied by the wavelength of the ultrasonic wave, and that can be formed by knowing the other parameter of the equation. There are a lot of application of the ultrasonic waves. The major field of application of the ultrasonic waves are in communication, so such as the sonar, and सोनार का फुल फॉर्म कोई बताएगा?
Yes, sir.
बताओ.
Sound navigation and ranging pane.
Yes, very good. So this is the sound navigation and ranging. So basically in communication, this sonar, such as sonar, directional signal, and for the echo depth sounding, यानी आपने जैसे अभी देखा था कि व्हेल फिश अल्ट्रासोनिक वेव्स थ्रो कर रही है और किसी ऑब्स्टेकल से लौट रही है, तो उसकी दूरी का वो अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं, इसलिए उनको शिकार करने में बहुत आसानी होती है. या हम किसी और चीज की अगर डेप्थ निकालना चाहते हैं तो इस तरह से निकाल सकते हैं अल्ट्रासोनिक वेव से. Elastic symmetries of the crystal can be detected with the use of ultrasonic waves. There are the industrial application in order to mix the different chemicals also. Chemical applications are there. Biological and medical application you might have seen in the ultrasonography and other things. Applications of this ultrasonic waves is widely used in the NDT, that is non-destructive testing. So this is all about of today, what I was interested to discuss with you people. And if you have any problem or any discussion, any question, then you can ask here. Friends, if you have any question, then you can ask the question.